All right, number 12. We're given the product of two numbers is 490. Their sum is 49. What are the two numbers? So we want to write down two equations, and we'll solve this. So the product tells me I'm going to multiply. So I'm just going to use x and y. Those are the common variables. So x times y, and that's going to equal to 490 when I multiply them. If we add them, it says their sum, so that means we add them. If I add x plus y, that gives us 49. Okay, so using these two equations, I will use substitution. So I can solve for one. I'll just solve for y in this equation. So I would subtract x from both sides. That will leave me with y equals 49 minus x. So this is my new equation. I'm now going to take this equation and I'm going to plug it in to this equation. So when I do x times y, instead of y, I know that y is equal to 49 minus x. I'm going to plug that in. So now I have x times, which I'll just put in parentheses, y, which is going to be 49 minus x, and that's going to equal 490. And then I'm going to distribute and start solving this. X times 49, 49x. X times negative x, give us a negative x squared, and that equals 490. We'll focus this. Okay, at this point it looks like a factoring problem. So I'm going to move everything to the right side so that one side is equal to 0. I could just move the one number, but I know when we factor we want the leading term to be positive. And since this is negative, I want to just move everything to the right side. So I'm going to add x squared. And I'm also going to subtract the 49x. Okay. So on the left side, these will cancel, and I'll be left with 0. On the right side, I'm going to put everything in order. Kind of running out of space here. And I will have x squared minus 49x plus 490. Okay. At this point, we have to factor. So I want to find numbers that multiply to give me 490 and add to give me 49, which is basically what we were looking for. And so the factoring process, again, I will use a calculator. I think I closed it. Open it back up. Okay, so the calculator, I'm going to get it to factor 490 for me since it's a big number. I could do it by hand, but it will go much sooner if we do it with the calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to y equal. I'm going to clear out what I have, and I'm going to type this number 490. This is the number I want to factor. And I'm going to tell the calculator to divide it by x. So dividing by x is just saying the calculator is going to put in multiple different numbers because x is a variable, and it's going to give me all those outputs. So I'm going to do second graph to see the table. And the whole number pairs, those are the numbers that are factors. We're going to skip the ones that are decimals. So 1 times 490, 2 times 245, those give you 490 when multiplied. So I'm continuing to go. I want to find 2 that add to give me 49. So multiply to give me 90, add to give me 49. Looks like 14 and 35. So if we were doing factoring, I would just continue going in this method. The two numbers I found were 14 and 35. And then, since this is negative, and I know these two numbers have to be added together, that means they're both going to be negative. And then once you set it equal to 0, x minus 14 equals 0, you would add 14 and get x equals 14 as one number. And then over here you would do x minus 35 equals 0. You would add 35 to both sides and you would get x equals 35. So the two numbers that we need are 14 and 35.